up, guys? Welcome back. We're 24 hours into Path of Exile 2's Dawn of the Hunt, and I think we need to talk because it's looking a little rough out there.
Dear GGG, you've made the biggest piece of shit ever designed in an ARPG. This game is currently worse than Wolcen, Diablo 4,
Diablo 3, Diablo 9, any fucking ARPG on the market is better than this piece of shit right now. This character is boring, the mechanics are shit, like, I don't even understand why you took away the best parts of your game, which is build design and fucking progression, and made it into a fucking slogfest of you fighting a numbless fucking mind-numbingly fucking white monsters for fucking 30 seconds at a time. Like, it's fucking dumb. It is a dumb game.
Let me play the game! Let me fucking play the game! This is so fucking dumb!
Nothing does any damage, and I am full glass cannon. I pretty much just like, okay, let's get the most damage that I can, and I'll just try to not get hit. And the damage is really, really, really low. Like, we're talking about an arsonist takes about 15 hits to kill a normal white mob. Not like a big white mob, like a normal white mob, but 15 hits. With a pure glass cannon full summoner.
This is genuinely the worst, like, leveling experience throughout any ARPG I have ever had. This is fucking insane, dude.
Bro, I'm so glad I didn't make a fucking YouTube video. Holy shit. I would actually feel so bad if I did. I was looking out. You know what? I actually just don't care. Like, I'm not gonna fucking sit here and fight white mobs.
I'm just gonna say it. EHG, you shouldn't have delayed your game. Unironically, I have the hardest belief right now. If Last Epoch didn't delay, it would be more popular than PoE2. I genuinely believe that. Like, I genuinely believe that. No meme. I'm not gonna play PoE2 in the future. You will? No, I swear. I'm being honest as fuck with you right now. I swear. If this is intended, if this is every league, I will not play in the future. I swear. I swear to God. Oh
my God. I literally, first zone, the wolf hits me for 80% of my health? One swing? Is this the vision? This is the vision? Jesus Christ! Ah! 100 ode in the first zone? I got 100 ode in the first zone. Okay. Holy fuck, they're slow as shit.
I just want to play some Path of Exile. That's all I want. That's the exchange. You give me good league, I give you money.
Shilly D here.
Nah, I give you money, you give me dick. I don't want dick. I can get dick anywhere else. I can walk down the street and get dick.
As funny as some of these clips are, there is a conversation that needs to be had here, and I think that 0.2.0 was a bit of a misstep by GGG. Let's talk about it. So in the first zone of Act 1, I got one shot by one of those witches that puts the fire circle on the ground. It one-shot my witch from full health, and from there, I pretty much knew this might be a little bit of a rough experience. But I wasn't really prepared for how rough it actually was going to be. Cut a long story short, the game for me right now just isn't very fun. Now, the closer I get to endgame, I'm hoping that that changes. I'm going to keep persisting through. I want to get to endgame. I want to be able to see the changes that they've put in and experience the game. So we're going to keep pushing through, and I'm hoping closer to the top end is when ED Contagion is going to really start to shine. There's moments where it feels really good during the campaign, to be fair, but there's a lot of things that have really made going through the campaign just not fun at all. I'm sure you heard it in the clips, but fighting packs just isn't fun. We do not do anywhere near enough damage, and white mobs are like a final boss in Dawn of the Hunt. In the patch notes, they talked about lowering the light stun threshold on us, and they want the buildup of elemental ailments to happen more, but I think they just took it way too far. Like in Atsuatl area of Act 3, everything stuns you. They're throwing projectiles at you, whatever it is. You're constantly being stunned up in place and can't do anything. with the gearing how it is, it's so hard to find actual gear to hit resist caps, to get a good amount of evasion or armor, and to really affect your stun threshold at all early on. On top of being stunned up a lot, we're way too slow. You know, I'm all for the combos and the wanting the gameplay to be that way, but we have to slow down the monsters. There's areas where I'm shield charging away from packs and they are just running me down like a dog. Like there's nothing you can do. The packs are 2 times the move speed of you. They hit really hard. They constantly stun you up, and and it's just a white mob. I was in Rax's stream watching him play through for part of last night, and after beating the Amazon lady boss in Act 3, he let out a big sigh of relief that the fight was over. So I made a funny comment and said, I let out a similar sigh of relief after fighting a pack of white monsters. And, you know, he read it out. He thought it was really funny. That's just truly how it is. You're fighting through this game and you feel exhausted. There was a clip of Steel Mage that I saw, and he said, you know, I play for 30, 45 minutes and I need to take a break already. And that's how it feels. We're not even near the end game yet. I'm still in Act 2 Cruel, the start of Act 2 Cruel. You know, I have a bunch to slog through still to even get to experience the changes that they've put into the game. You know, that's a major downside of this, is that because of how hard they've made it in the start, things being hard isn't bad. It's not the problem. The problem is that it's not fun. You know, it's not enjoyable. It's not rewarding to overcome these things. It's just more like, thank God this is over. You know, the bad layouts feel even worse now because it takes longer to get through the map. You know, you're fighting, you have to basically fight every pack you come across, because if you try and run away, they just, you know, have double your move speed and are going to follow you around the entire map. And then eventually you'll get just piled on by so many monsters that you'll die anyways. So you basically have to fight most mobs as you're going through, and they're taking a lot longer to kill. When you get a bad layout, it feels even worse now because you're spending even longer to look through the layout and find where you need to go. You know, checking out the Reddit, seeing those clips that we saw earlier in the video, and you know, going through a bunch of streams, it seems like most people have a similar sentiment. So the first 24 hours wasn't good, but it does seem like GGG is listening. And last night at about 4 a.m., they put out a patch, which was then delayed because they realized they need to do a restart for it. Well, it's fully deployed now. So if you go into the game after watching this video, this will be active and live. They've basically lowered the health of all monsters between level 8 and level 64 to have 25% less life. So most of them in the middle are going to have 25% less life, and then a little bit at the start from 8 to 15, and from 46 to 64 will start to taper off. So by the time you hit 64, they will have 100% of the life that they had before this patch. Rogue Exiles have had their life reduced by 40%. I know there was a funny clip that I didn't show that I saw of, I think, Ben fighting a Rogue Exile, and it just kept popping health potions over and over and healing constantly. Like, you couldn't even kill the Rogue Exiles. So I'm fine having like the whole Dark Souls, like, oh, you know, it's kind of like an NPC you're fighting and they have life flasks too. But infinite life flasks? Really? Do we need infinite life flasks? I don't think so. Of the Hydra, life regeneration monster modifier only appears at level 65 plus now. Tempest Bell's combo has been reduced from the 10 that it got nerfed to back to its original 4 hits for a combo. So if you're someone who is playing Monk, you know, that's something. Explosive grenade and voltaic grenade cooldowns have been lowered to 5 seconds, and all cursed skill gems have a higher growth of radius per level, starting at 1.5 meters at level 1 and growing to 3.1 meters. As opposed to 2.1 meters. Kind of making up for that delayed activation with giving it more radius. So hopefully the monsters don't move as much by the time it activates and they're still in the radius now. Yeah, I think the biggest downside of this is that people are quitting. You know, a lot of people have said, you know what, screw it, I'm quitting. I'm just going to wait for Last Epoch. I'm going to just go play another game. This just isn't fun. And I think a lot of the cool changes that I saw from the video were in the end game. You know, they're things that we haven't experienced yet. And a lot of people are already making full kind of judgments on this update based off of just the campaign. That's how, you know, much of a slog it is. That's how kind of annoying it is to play through right now. People don't even care to make it through to judge the rest of the game. So this is a good change. Hopefully with this 25% less life, people are able to go in and find more builds and and make their own builds and, you know, be able to make it through, because that's why I'm going to be sticking with it, is because hopefully by the time I hit to end game, I'm able to get some better gear, you know, start feeling powerful. But yeah, like I said, being hard isn't the issue. When it's hard and not fun, that's when it becomes a problem. I want, you know, my difficulty to be rewarding and to feel accomplishing. This just doesn't feel good. What's your guys' experience been like on day one? Are you guys having fun? Did you guys already quit? Are you gonna give it another chance now that the update's out and see if you can get something going? You know, Zizarin is going to be doing an interview with the devs on Monday, so it's going to be very interesting to hear their thoughts on the update. Whether, you know, is this the vision? Is this what they want the game to be? I think with this update, hopefully that's saying no. You know, we overcorrected too much. We don't want the game to be, you know, temporalis, perma-blinking all over the place, but we overcorrected. We're going to, you know, make the steps necessary to make sure that this is, you know, the game that we all want it to be. I don't think anyone is preying on the downfall of GGG, right? We all want the game to be great, but when things aren't fun, it's hard to fake it. So let me know down in the comments what your guys' thoughts is on everything. I always love hearing from you guys. And if you're still playing, good luck. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.